Oh my goodness, it's been a minute. I love how I post a video announcing a book club and then I just disappear. Hello book lovers, welcome to Literally Elise. I'm Elise and this is Literally Elise. How do I do this again? Because I'm announcing the book club picks for my science fiction book club, the Libronauts, for the remainder of the year. As I said in my announcement video, we will not be doing reading discussions during the months of November and December. People are typically really busy that time of year, but we will of course be reading books in July, August, September, and October. You may recall in my announcement video, I did say that the month of June we'll be reading The Marriage Act by John Mars, and my good friend Kendall from Kendall's Pages will be joining me as the co-host. Now, the July pick. This is a new release. It just came out earlier this year. The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. This is of course the same author as The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle and Devil in the Dark Water, I believe. Yes, I haven't read either of those, but this book sounds really good. It is sci-fi, but it's a sci-fi mystery. From what I recall, there's an island. So outside the island, there is nothing. The world was destroyed by a fog that swept the planet, killing anyone it touched. On the island, it is idyllic. 122 villagers and 3 scientists living in peaceful harmony. The villagers are content to fish, farm, and feast, to obey their nightly curfew, and to do what they're told by the scientists. Until, to the horror of the islanders, one of their beloved scientists is found brutally stabbed. And then they learn that the murder has triggered a lowering of the security system around the island, the only thing that was keeping the fog at bay. If the murder isn't solved within 107 hours, the fog will smother the island and everyone on it. This sounds like the perfect mixture of like thriller aspects, horror aspects, and sci-fi. I'm super excited for this one. And my lovely co-host that is going to be joining me is Jordan over at Sorry Book Solid. In the month of August, the book pick is going to be The Light Pirate by Lily Brooks Dalton. This book is a couple years old, I think. Book of the month says it came out in 2022. This one has to do with weather, a story of survival and resilience spanning one woman's lifetime as she navigates the uncertainty, brutality, and arresting beauty of a rapidly changing world. Florida as we know it is slipping away. As devastating weather patterns and rising sea levels wreak gradual havoc on the state's infrastructure, a powerful hurricane approaches a small town on the southern eastern coast. Kirby Lowe, an electrical line worker for the local utility municipality, his pregnant wife Frida, and their 2 sons Flip and Lucas prepare for the worst. When the boys go missing just before the hurricane hits, Kirby heads out into the high winds in search of his children. Left alone, Frida goes into premature labor and gives birth to an unusual child, Wanda, whom she names after the catastrophic storm that ushers her into a society closer to collapse than ever before. As Florida continues to unravel, Wanda grows. Moving from childhood to adulthood, she adapts not only to the changing landscape, but also to the people who stay behind. In this town abandoned by civilization and remade by nature, Wanda loses family, finds community, and comes to terms with a mysterious purpose that has been whispering to her for all these years. This book, in addition to having some sci-fi elements, also has some elements of magical realism in it. And the co-host for the month of August is going to be Gwen over at Lavender Mud on Instagram and Gwendolyn Kinzinger on YouTube. For the month of September, it is a sci-fi horror. I've never read from this author before. Very intrigued to do so. This book is also a little bit older, about 2018, and that is Foe by Ian Reid. This is by the same author as We Spread and I'm Thinking of Ending Things, I believe is what it's called. In Ian Reid's second haunting philosophical puzzle of a novel set in the near future, Junior and Henrietta live a comfortable, isolated life on their farm, far from the city lights but in close quarters with each other. One day, a stranger from the city arrives with alarming news. Junior has been randomly selected to travel far away from the farm, very far away. The most unusual part, arrangements have already been made so that when he leaves, Henrietta won't have a chance to miss him because she won't be left alone. Not even for a moment. Henrietta will have company, familiar company. I'm very intrigued about this one. It kind of gives me Cabin at the End of the World meets The World We Leave Behind. And my co-host for the month of September is going to be my dear friend Keisha over at A Book Like You. And the final book that we will be reading in the month of October is going to be This Time Tomorrow by Emma Straub. This book is from, I believe, 2022. I think it's gonna make me cry. Just the description. So a father-daughter story full of humor and heart about love, death, and time travel. So there's your sci-fi element, there's time travel involved. On the eve of her 40th birthday, Alice's life isn't terrible. She likes her job, even if it isn't exactly the one she expected. She's happy with her apartment, her romantic status, and her independence, and she adores her lifelong best friend. But her father is ailing, and it feels to her as if something is missing. When she wakes up the next morning, she finds herself back in 1996, reliving her 16th birthday. But it isn't just her adolescent body that shocks her. We're seeing her high school crush. It's her dad. The vital, charming 40-something version of her father with whom she is reunited. Now armed with a new perspective on her own life and his, some past events take on new meaning. Is there anything that she would change if she could? And my final co-host for the year of 2024, I just realized I'm sitting right next to my open slider and it's kind of windy, so there's probably a lot of background noise. Sorry about that. My final co-host for the year of 2024 is going to be Summer over at Seasons Readings. So that's it. Those are the rest of the book choices for the Libronauts Book Club in 2024. Hopefully some of these picks sorry, Summer, I dropped your book. Hopefully some of these picks will intrigue you and not scare you away too much from the genre. But you better believe next year we're gonna be reading about some space, some aliens, hopefully. I don't know. It's up to my co-host, really. All right. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please do remember to like and subscribe. And if you are interested in joining Libronauts Book Club, be sure to check out the Instagram page, which I have linked below. Okay. Until next time, bye.